Father Christmas loves a snowman, and snowmen love maths, like this guy here. So let's use our maths to create a 3D snowman using Adobe Express. So let's take a quick look at what we're trying to produce here. We're going for two nets because we're looking for the main body, and we're going for the head as well. One's kind of rectangle based and the other one's square based, needs his head on. This one needs scarf, buttons, arms, all of those kind of things. But you can play around with it however you like. So let's get going in Adobe Express. First thing to do is press the plus and go to custom size graphic. Now I'm going to press print here. I'm going to go for A4, click next here, and you just get this blank page. Now the first thing to do is click resize, scroll up and go to custom. And then I want to flip this around so it goes from portrait to landscape. Okay, there we go. Now, next thing to do is click the background, choose a solid color. And I think it doesn't really matter what we do here. Maybe I'll choose a green to make it contrast. We're going to change this again at the end, but just for now, just so we can see what we're doing, we'll keep it like that. Like I showed you before, this is what we're looking to create. And we're also going to use the multi-page function, which is a new function in Adobe Express to create 2 pages. So the first thing I've got to do is go over to shapes. And I'm just looking for a basic shape and I'll look for rectangle. Okay, that one's perfect. Now I'm going to click it. I might just resize it a little bit. I'm not quite sure at the moment just how big or small it needs to be. That looks roughly okay. And then I'll change the color for now. Obviously snowmen are white. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to rotate it. There we go. You can change the size of this. This is looking a little bit tall now that I've changed the orientation of it. And what I've got to do is I've got to put 4 of these in a row because they're going to wrap around as the snowman's body. So all I need to do is press duplicate here, position that so it goes next to it. You'll see the dotted lines. It's really simple to do. And I've got my 4. Okay, next thing I need to do is I could go here and I could press duplicate and I could sit this on top, say like here for example, and then I could make this into a square. That's roughly a square. Actually, I've done quite a good job on that. But actually what I think I'll do instead is just select that, replace it and replace it with a square, just so I know that all 4 sides are exactly the same. And the good thing about using the replace tool there is that it'll stick it in exactly the right place. Nearly finished my net here. I'm just going to duplicate that square and I'm going to pop it on down the bottom here. I could just nudge this one down a little bit. You could see a little bit of the green, the background green, which is why it's handy to have a contrasting color in the background. Now that we've got that, let's just check back here on the net that I completed already. I want to do the scarf, I want to do the buttons, I want to do the arms. So let's go for the first thing, which is, let's go for a scarf. If I search over here, and I think I'm going to choose this navy blue one here. Now I'm going to select it, remove the background color. How cool is this? Nice, really like it. I'm going to accept that, and then I'm just going to move it over here, and I'll have to play with, you know, the size of it. We don't want it to be too big. You can change the color of these actually by playing around with the things like the duotone filter. So have a little look at that and see if you want to change things up. That's a red scarf. I really like that. I think I'll keep it. Then I'm going to add in the buttons. Same with the photo. Again, I'm going to search for button. I kind of want one button on its own. That's perfect. Really like it. Again, select it, remove the background. Beautiful. I'm going to accept that. I'm going to move it down. There we go, nice. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to make sure it's centered. You can see it's centered. You can see the dotted lines there. And then I'll duplicate it. Next up, I'm going to search in shapes and I'm going to search for branch. And then I can duplicate that. And then I can flip it over so it could be used for the other side of the body. What we're going to do now is pretty cool. This is a new feature in Express. And you can see down here, it looks like the duplicate button. This duplicate button is to duplicate the whole page. So let me do that. Voila, we've got a page. There's the first one. There's the second one. But we need to do some different things on here. So let me select all of these little items that I want to get rid of. And then I'm going to do almost exactly the same type of net, but this time all of these rectangles, they need to go too. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to duplicate the square And then all I've got to do is build my net. So now what we need to do is we go to Adobe Acrobat, and again, we need to put these features on there as well. You can do that any way you like. And put it in there. Cool. Last thing for you to do is put the tabs on your net so that it can be stuck together once you've printed and cut it out. So if I go over to shapes here, I'm going to search for something like rectangle again. So actually I'll use a basic shape. I'll change this to be a sort of dark grey, and then I can size it right down. And then all I need to do is start positioning this where I think it needs to go on my tab. So if I look at my completed one, I went all around the squares and all around the squares, and then one on the end of each long row. Make it vertical. This on the end of the long row, centered it, perfect. And then I can duplicate it. And then just keep duplicating them and putting them in the right places. You can copy and paste the shape from page to page, and then I'll do the same for this one too. Okay, now those tabs are in there, it's time to change the background color so it doesn't interfere for when you print it out and you want to cut. So I'm going to change it to something very light so you can still see where you need to cut, but if you do, cut into a bit of that, it doesn't really matter. Same with this one. And I'm going to give my project a title. And now it's time to download it. You want to download all the pages. I don't want a transparent background because I want to see where I need to cut, because obviously the net itself is white like the snowman. And then you press Start Download. And there it is. It's time for you to cut out your net, which is being printed, and make a snowman like my guy here. Good luck, and I'm looking forward to seeing yours.